everyone. Is it possible that we have turned a corner and spring is actually here? I hope so. You know, the story I told yesterday about the hut catching on fire, and it seemed like it was the worst possible thing that could happen, but it turned out to be the best possible thing. Well, that got me to thinking about other examples of the truth that all things work together for good for those who love God. That's Romans 8:28. One of those examples is a stanza from a poem by Katherine Chapman Tillman. It goes like this. Teach me to see how blessed good shall come from everything that seemeth to me ill, if I but wait, but trust my all to thee, and ever seek to do thy loving will. Katherine was born in 1870. And although her mother was a school teacher, she didn't attend school until she was almost 12 years old. But Katherine was a gifted writer, and by the time she was 18, she was already publishing in several different Christian journals. Throughout the course of her career, she wrote for many religious publications. She also wrote short stories and essays and plays and poetry. And one of the themes that recurs throughout her writing is hope and encouragement, especially aimed at young Black women. In 1894, she married the Reverend George Tillman. And as a pastor's wife, she lived in different states and she taught and lectured, and she worked with many church women's groups and missionary societies. During World War I, she was appointed as the Director of Publicity for the National Association of Negro Women's Clubs. And that was to highlight the work of African American women in the war effort, especially in the Red Cross. She died in 1922. The poem that I'm going to read to you that contains the stanza that I just shared is called A Psalm for the Soul, and it was written in 1896. I found it in a book called Conversations with God, 2 Centuries of Prayers by African Americans. Although the language is dated, it speaks to us and our time just as much as it did to Katherine and hers. So here is A Psalm of the Soul by Katherine Chapman Tillman. O Father, my heart is heavy laden, and grief has settled o'er me like a pall. And behold, in earth or heaven, my anguished soul on none but thee can call. No one but thee a word of cheer can give in this the deepened gloom of a sad day. O come to my heart, dear Father, and bid my bitter sorrow steal away. Teach me to see how blessed good shall come from everything that seemeth to me ill, if I but wait, but trust my all to thee, and ever seek to do thy loving will. And while I cannot see a ray of light, yet lend me faith to love thee well, and conquering grace for every trial, till I beyond the pearly gates shall dwell. Tonight I need thy rod and staff to comfort, for I am travel-worn. My hands are weary with much toil, my feet are badly bruised and torn. Reach down and hide me in thy cleft, where I may rest awhile my weary feet. And there I pray that thine own voice in soothing tones my longing heart shall greet. So shall I then be comforted, my soul shall then rejoice in thee. The oil of joy thy presence sheds shall fill my soul with ecstasy. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again soon.